Hello students, today we'll be doing chapter number 6, characteristics of chemical reaction. Atoms, they are not fixed in a molecule, they are not fixed in a position. So sometimes when they break their link or they are bonding with each other of a particular molecule, what happens? They try to get linked or get bonded with some other different type of atoms. So in that case, when they link with different type of atom or molecule, a totally new substance is formed in this whole process. Their changing of partners with different atoms, it forms a different new substance with different features, with different chemical properties or physical properties. So in this whole process, the change that happens, we call it to be chemical change. During this chemical change, we see that some new substance is formed. So chemical reaction is the transformation of a substance into a new substance. And it's not necessary that the chemical change or the chemical reaction, it have to happen only between two types of atoms or two types of molecules. It can happen or it can take place more than two or three different type of substances. Next, we'll be learning the characteristics of a chemical reaction. During this whole process of chemical reaction, we'll see here 5 different types of changes. Number 1 is evolution of gas. Sometimes when we mix some two or more reactants with each other, after the chemical reaction happens, we see that along with the new products or the new substance that is formed, we see evolution of gas also in that case. For example, when we mix vinegar with baking soda, we see that we find some new substances which are sodium acetate. Along with that we find water also. But along with those new substances, we'll notice that there will be some evolution of gas also, which is carbon dioxide gas. Next is change of color. Now, in some of the chemical reaction, what happens? The color of the reactants and the color of the products that is formed is not same. It is of different colors. For example, you see here crystals of copper carbonate. It is of green color. So what happens when we heat them very strongly? It forms copper oxide, which is black in color and give carbon dioxide gas. So we see the change of color over here. Initially it was green in color, and then when the new product formed, we see the color changes into black color. I'll tell you one common example. You see in a home, sometimes when you put lemon juice on salt, we see now the color changes. The color of the salt, which is white in color, it turns into a light bluish color. So there also we see the change of color. Next is formation of precipitate. First of all, what is precipitate? So when we mix two soluble substances, we'll find that during this chemical reaction, we'll find an insoluble substance as a product. That insoluble substance as a product is precipitate, which separates out from the solution. For example, when we are mixing sodium hydroxide with copper sulfate, which is blue in color, we'll find a deep blue precipitate will form. That is copper hydroxide in this case, along with sodium sulfate. Next, in this coloring picture, you can see that potassium iodide is mixed with lead acetate. Now, in this chemical reaction, the products that are formed is potassium acetate and lead iodide. So here we see a yellow precipitation, which is lead iodide over here. Next is energy change. Now energy, it could be of any form. It could be in the form of light or it could be in the form of heat also. So in some of the chemical reactions, we'll see that it is producing energy, and in some of the cases it is absorbing energy. So chemical reactions in which it produces energy, such reaction we call exothermic reaction, and in chemical reaction which absorbs energy, such reaction we call endothermic reaction. In this example, you see, when we add calcium oxide with water, what happens? It produces calcium hydroxide. But along with that, in this whole reaction, we'll observe that the water, it starts boiling and becomes very hot. After the reaction happens, you'll see that the water becomes very hot. So here we see that the heat energy is produced. Now since the heat energy is produced here, so it's an example of exothermic reaction. Now in example 2, you see that when we burn magnesium ribbon in flame, that is in presence of oxygen, what happens? It catches fire, and right after it catch fire, what happens? It produces dazzling white flame. So here in this chemical reaction, we observe that it is producing light energy, that is the white flame, as well as heat energy also. Next is endothermic reaction, and I already explained you that reactions in which it absorbs energy, whether it's heat energy or light energy. So whenever it absorbs energy to undergo the reaction, it is endothermic reaction. Now you see here an example. You see sodium bicarbonate, it absorbs heat, that is it needs heat energy to produce sodium carbonate, and along with that, with sodium carbonate, it also produces water, which is in the gaseous form, that is steam, and also carbon dioxide gas. So here we see that sodium bicarbonate, to produce sodium carbonate, it needs heat energy. So here it's absorbing heat energy to produce sodium carbonate. So it's an example of endothermic reaction. Next, number 5, change of state. By now we already know that molecules of a solid particles, they are already in slow vibration. Being in their mean position, they keep on vibrating, right? So what happens when these particles, they start absorbing some heat energy, they use this energy, and the vibration which used to be slower before this, now they start vibrating faster. The speed becomes fast of vibration. So what happens as a result of this fast vibration, they start breaking their bond. So with this increase of absorbed energy, what they do, they start vibrating faster, due to which what happens, they start breaking their bond with them. So as a result of this, we will see a change of state over here, and then solid, it starts melting into a liquid. In the first picture, you can see that the particles are in slow vibration, that is the vibration around the particles is not much, it's very slow. So next, then when it is heated, you can see in the second picture, after heated, the particles now, they started vibrating more vigorously, more faster they're vibrating now. Then as a result, what happens, you can see in the third picture that they are breaking their bond. The molecular distance that they were maintaining in the second picture, you can see in the third picture is not anymore. So in the third picture, you can see that due to the vibration, this vigorous vibration, what happened, they break some of their bond, and then they start melting into liquid. Here in this example, you see that ammonia is reacted with hydrogen chloride. Now here ammonia and hydrogen chloride, they both are in the gaseous state, and then they react. After this chemical reaction, we find product to be ammonium chloride. We get ammonium chloride as product, which is in the form of solid state. So here we see change of state. Initially the reactants, it were in the gaseous state, and the product we find is in the solid state. Next is catalyst. Now you see in chemical reaction, what happens, we make some of the reactants, right, and then they react with one another, and as an outcome they produce some new substance which we call products. Now in this whole process, they react with each other and produce a new substance, right? Now this process, it could be a slow process, it could be a fast process also. For example, rusting of iron, it's a very slow process, right? So like this, it could be a slow process, it could be a fast reaction also. Now catalyst is such a substance which can accelerate the speed of the reaction, or it could deaccelerate the speed of reaction as well. So substances which accelerate the speed of reaction, we call such catalyst to be positive catalyst, and substances which retard the speed, that is which deaccelerate or slower the speed of the chemical reaction, we call them to be negative catalyst. For example, here manganese dioxide, it acts as a positive catalyst, and alcohol here it acts as a negative catalyst.